This will be our video for Chapter 6, Lessons 4 and 5. Today we're going to talk about solving two-step equations. Everything you have solved so far could be solved with just doing one step. One set of division, one set of multiplication, one quick addition, or one quick subtraction. So today we're going to talk about two-step equations, which obviously will take 2 steps to solve. Two-step equations and any further equations that we will solve this year will we will follow the same 3 steps. And those 3 steps I call the 3 S's of solving equations. The first S stands for simplify. This is a note in your note packet. It says make sure both sides of the equation are simplified. That means we're looking for like terms. And if we have like terms, we need to add them or subtract them or do something to make sure that the expression on the left side of the equal sign is in simplest form and the expression on the right side of the equal sign is in simplest form. Our second step is going to be to separate. And this is a note for you as well. It says to separate variable terms from constants using addition or subtraction. So that is our note in our notes. So far, simplify, separate. The separate step, that gets us all of our variable terms will be on one side of the equal sign, all of our constants will be on the other. Once we have the separate step completed, we'll do our third step, which is to solve, and this will be solving a one-step equation using multiplication or division. So make sure you have these 3 things in your notes, but from now on in class, you're going to hear me say, what are the 3 S's? Simplify, separate, and solve. Let's take a look at a practice problem. This is number 5 on page 5. It says Sarah works as a veterinarian at Mountain Shadow. She earns D dollars every week, and she pays $500 rent once a month. After 4 weeks, Sarah pays her rent, so 4 weeks go by. She pays her rent, and she still has $2,700 left over. We want to write and solve. Let me fix that quick. Write and solve an equation to determine how much money Sarah makes each week, and then we will do a check of our solution. So I started with this problem because I know that we're still practicing writing our equations. This one is a little more complicated. There's a little more stuff going on, so we have to think about what's really happening here. And think about how this might happen in real life. First, you're going to get paid, then you're going to pay your bills, and that's going to end up determining how much money you have left over. So Sarah's getting paid for 4 weeks, and each week she earns D dollars. So that's 4 weeks times D dollars each week. Then she has to pay her rent, and her rent is $500. So paying that means we are subtracting that away from the money she has earned. And after she makes money and pays a bill, we figure out that she has some money left. That means she has $2,700 left. So my equation for this is 4 times D minus 500 is equal to 2,700. And I have to follow the 3 S's to solve this equation. First S is to simplify. So we're going to look over here on the left side of the equation and see if those terms can be simplified. Well, they cannot be simplified because 4D and 500 are not like terms. So I can't do anything to simplify that any further. On the right side, 2,700 is only one number, so that itself is also already simplified. Next, we want to do our second S, which is to separate. And to help us do that, I want us to pick sides of our equation. Over here on the left-hand side, you notice we have a variable. So we are going to call this our variable side. On the right side, we only have constants, so we're going to call that the constant side. V for variable side, C for constant side. On the variable side, I take a look and I say, okay, which of these terms does not belong on the variable side? Well, 4D has a variable in it, so that obviously belongs here. My next term, the minus 500, That's not a variable term. So I want to get rid of this minus 500 so that it's on the correct side. So to get rid of a minus 500, I have to do the inverse operation, which is to add 500. And you and I both know that if we add 500 to the left side, we have to keep it balanced and add 500 to the right side. So negative 500 plus 500 is 0. We bring down our 4D because that's all that's left on the left side of the equal sign. Bring your equal sign down the train tracks, and then we will simplify the right-hand side. 2,700 plus 500 is 3,200. And now we can see that we have our separate step complete. This is a variable term. This is a constant term. No constants on this side, no variables on that side. So our last step, the third S, is to solve. Solve means that we need to solve our itty-bitty little equation here, 4D equals 3,200. So what's with the D? It's the number 4. We're multiplying 4 times D, so to get rid of the 4, we have to divide by 4. We're also going to divide the right side to keep it balanced. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so we're left with 1D. Bring down your equal sign. And 3,200 divided by 4 is 800. So we can determine that Sarah earns $800 every week. We want to make sure that our answer is right, so we will check it. We will check it over here, and we will substitute the 800 in for D. So 4 times 800 minus 500. And we're hoping that that equals 2,700. I'm kind of running out of room here. 2,700. So our job is to simplify both sides of the equal sign. And the easiest side to simplify is the 2,700 because that's already in simplest form. The opposite side, we have to follow the order of operations. And this one's going to take more than one step to finish our check. Multiplication comes before subtraction. So 4 times 800 is 3,200. Bring down your minus 500. Shouldn't have that 0 there. Bring down your minus 500. And 3,000 minus 500 is 2,700. This check does get a little bit longer. It gets longer because it takes longer to solve the problem. So if it's a longer problem to solve, it's going to be a longer check to complete as well. So we've talked about how to write the equation. We talked about our 3 S's, simplify, separate, solve. Let's see one more problem. It'll be hopefully a little bit quicker one, but this one deals with some division, so it's a good one for us to look at. So start us off with the train tracks. This is our variable side because we have variables over there. This is our constant side. What doesn't belong on the variable side? Well, it's my minus 2 here, my negative 2. That's a constant. So to get rid of the minus 2, we have to plus 2. Get rid of a negative 2, we add 2. And then we balance that out by adding 2 over here on the right side as well. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0, so that leaves us with only W divided by 3 on the left-hand side. Bring down your equal sign. 7 plus 2 is 9. Now we have a baby equation here, a little equation where we can solve in our final step. To solve, we're going to have to multiply both sides by 3 because that says W divided by 3. So the way to get rid of that divide by 3 is to multiply by 3. We're left with a W equals 27. I'm not going to show you this check, but I would like you to finish it up yourself. Take the 27, put it in for W. We'll do 27 divided by 3 is 9, and then negative 2 plus 9 is 7. So do that work on your paper, but I'm not going to do that one with you. For today, your assignment is to complete number 1, number 3, number 6, and number 7 from your notes. 6 is another word problem, so make sure that you write the correct equation before you get started. Number 7, I'm giving you an equation. I'm asking you to write me a word problem. So spend some time on that. Make sure you understand how to write word problems for equations. Google form when you are finished, and don't forget to ask any questions if you have some.